might like it.
Yeah, you never know, dogs. Some dogs love it, some dogs hate it.
Is it he? What is he?
He is a pointer and a hound mix.
Yeah, being
So
that he's a hound, yes, he'll like the he'll probably want to play around in the dang darn. If there is any snow up in that area, or if there's anything that excites him, he'll want to play around up there when he gets out.
In 2 weeks, I bet we'll see a little bit of snow. Probably not a whole bunch, but like an inch or two. Because this is the time of year where it's still not consistently cold enough for like the snow to build up. So it'll snow for a few days, then it'll get warm up, and it'll rain a little bit. It'll just get above freezing. Yep. Then it all melts, and then it'll go below freezing at night. So then it turns into ice.
It just goes back and forth.
Yeah, that's when it gets dangerous. Is when it gets warm enough that it all melts and then turns into ice at night.
Basically, yes. Luckily, it just doesn't do any of that here, though.
Oh yeah,
don't do none of that here, which is what I like.
People up north like think hurricanes are the like craziest thing ever, but after like when you're in Orlando, you're not by the water, so it's not too bad at all.
In a half mile,
this is an inland area. Everybody that usually evacuates to here. A lot of the times. They evacuate inland here into Orlando and stay in Orlando somewhere until the storms pass. And then when they're allowed to come back, then they come back and see hopefully if their house is still there or not. Usually.
Yeah, my parents were stuck down here for the last hurricane that came through that went over Tampa. My mom, being from the Midwest, she was like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do if the building falls down? And I was like, Mom, we're in a 3-story apartment complex in Orlando. Like, if this building falls down, the whole west coast of Florida is gone. And she, like, could not get through that until once it was over. She
All
was like,
it really ever is here in Orlando, more than anything, all that Orlando ever gets is just wind, and a wind up to about 100 miles an hour, and a whole bunch of damn rain flooding the area out for a little while. That's it.
Yeah.
But it never gets to the point where it does significant bad damage to any of the buildings, other than maybe occasional tree here and a tree there, and that's about it.
Yeah, especially with all the new buildings. I work for a general contractor, so we build like apartment complexes and stuff like that. Right now I build Targets, and all the regulations on the building requirements and what you have to do, they build stuff for it to be up to like 250 miles an hour wind load. So like the only things that are really gonna break off are like your siding and like more residential things. It's more things hitting the houses that are gonna tear it up than just the house blown to pieces.
Basically anything, yes. So what do you so you said you build Target?
Yeah, my title is a project engineer. I'm like one of the guys that sit in the trailer and do all the paperwork. I'm not like physically building anything. I'm more like managing subcontractors, and those guys are the people that do all the work. I do like
those ones that they build for Target stores.
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
They work for Target stores and
so like
Target
will like say, hey, we're trying to build like these certain stores. We'll go to Target and say, hey, we can bid it for this amount, or build it for this amount. And a couple other people do it.
And then your place is hired to build it if you get it, basically.
Yeah. So we go to them, and then we go out to other people and say, all right, who wants to do the drywall and framing? Who wants to do the concrete?
Do you guys get any bids on that one in Lake Nona?
Lake Nona? Well, I'm actually building that one.
I figured, that's why I was going to ask. I figured I was going to have a feeling that was what you were going to say, that you're out there at that location.
That's actually my job, too. That's funny.
How much farther away is Lake Nona's Target from opening up?
It's supposed to be opening in, like, July.
Yeah, so their deadline that they tried to say on the website did not fall through.
Well, it was...
They were trying to open it and everything ahead of all of the other shops to have had it open by the end of Christmas, probably, but they didn't manage to do
I
it.
was gonna say that
Because they said 2025 that they were going to have Target open and everything in 2025, and that did not play out.
Yeah, that was when we came on board. That was never the case. When we first started the job, it was going to be it was going to open up in like May, but then the guys who did the building pad, the developers who like built all the land up, they had a bunch of like debris, so it pushed the schedule back a month before we could start. So then it got pushed to July. But whoever said it was going to be finished before 2025, that was
they straight up put the wrong dates in the dang darn web page site.
The funny thing is that's not the first time I've seen them lie. The last store I was on, they tried to say it was like.
But that is going to be the first thing to be open, I assume, for the complex is the Target, and then the rest of the complex will follow by the end of the year.
Yep. And I don't know what the rest is going in because we're only doing the Target. But yeah.
I know there's going to be restaurants, that I can tell in there. There's going to be restaurants in there and some other things. Probably knowing my damn ass, there's probably going to be a Five Below store in there. Probably.
I feel like they're in every strip
Five
mall.
Below is always going to find it where it's going to go, oh, well, yeah, we got a Target here, yeah, we're going to get our butter, we're going to move in here now. And try to outbeat the Target.
And
usually.
A lot of them, what's crazy too, is a lot of them will get together and say, hey, like this developer, it wasn't us, like
I want
who,
down to Ross cuts over there.
They'll be like, hey, like this person approached us, wants us to build a Target building here, and they'll go to other companies and be like, hey, do you want to like come in together and put a building next to us? Because they don't like apparently see it as much as competition, but if you're gonna be there at Ross and Five Below, you're gonna come over to Target too.
So they want the sales because they want the people to come in between both stores and share the profit kind of more or less between the two.
Yeah, they want as many people to be able
The more
to
they
come
can
in
drag into the whole complex, the more the complex itself profits from each person getting into the actual complex and hopefully going to a majority of all the stores in the complex spending money.
Yeah, that's exactly how I've seen them. That's how they, at least how I've seen them.
And then the restaurants
that's how they do it.
And then the restaurants make their money by hopefully hoping that while you're in there in the complex, you start getting hungry from walking around and shopping, that you start going, oh, here's something good, I want to go over here, and then you go and you eat there, and they make their money off of you shopping and getting tired of in the stores, and you want to go eat.
The developer who owns that land, the company's name is Tavistock. They like own like most of the land in Lake Nona. They own all that land along that whole entire street. So I would say in like 5-10 years, there's going to be no cow pastures there. That's going to be all like strip malls, development, apartments.
Well, the one thing I do know, the one thing I do know is part of it. I think before they get all of that land, that part of that land, they're gonna wind up probably selling some more of that, selling a little bit of that land over on the very end of it. Probably to the hospital complex.
Oh yeah.
Over there in that corner, they're gonna have to sell part of that land to the hospital, to the government, for the hospital, because that hospital is getting too damn big, and it's gonna need to hop over to a second. There's gonna need to be a second part of it on the other side of the aisle of the road.
Yeah, that place is huge.
That's gonna need to be for more inpatient rooms on the other side of the roadway, basically. Because those two hospitals, it's the VA hospital and then the UFC hospital.